When my father came to my art exhibition, he didn't even look at my paintings. "I don't like this unemployment. Find a real job," he said. 10 years later, when my unemployment artwork sold for $3 million at Sotheby's, I grew up in Chicago. My father, Robert Martinez, was a successful lawyer. My mother, Catherine, was a homemaker. My brother, Nathan, was studying medicine. A perfect family, except for me, because I wanted to be an artist. When I first picked up a brush at 8 years old, the world changed. Colors, tones, textures, everything made sense. I would draw and paint for hours. "Olivia's hobby is so beautiful," my mother would tell guests. Hobby. Always hobby. At 15, I opened my first exhibition. At the school gallery. A small event, but everything to me. I had hung 20 paintings. My father came late to the ceremony, in his suit, conducting court business on the phone. He didn't even look at the paintings. "Olivia, this is nice but not a serious career. You're going to study law, just like your father." "But Dad, I want to be an artist." Artists starve. This is how the real world works. At 17, the Art Institute of Chicago offered me a scholarship. Full scholarship. My portfolio was so strong that jury members had personally invited me. I ran home. "Mom, Dad, I got a full scholarship from Art Institute." My father lowered his newspaper. "What scholarship?" "Art school. Full scholarship 4 years. "No. One word, no." "But Dad, Olivia, you're going to study law at Northwestern. The registration is already done. Art can remain a hobby. This is my life. And I'm your father. I won't let you throw away my daughter's future." My mother intervened. "Robert, maybe we can think— Catherine, this matter is closed. Olivia will be a lawyer." That night I cried in my room. My dream was shattered. I started studying law at Northwestern University, but every night I made art. Secretly. I rented a small studio that nobody knew about. I tried to endure the first year. I went to law classes, but my mind was always on canvases. In the second year, I decided, enough. One night I talked to my father. "Dad, I'm not happy. Law isn't for me." "Olivia, you just need to get used to it." "No, Dad. I'm an artist. This is who I am." "An artist? How will you make money doing art? How will you pay rent?" "I'll learn. This is ridiculous. You're my daughter. The Martinez family raises lawyers, not artists." "Then I'm no longer a Martinez." Silence. My mother froze at the kitchen door. Nathan stood at the top of the stairs watching us. "What did you say?" My father's voice was threatening. "I'm an artist, and if you can't accept that, I'll leave." "Then go. But never come through that door again." At 20 years old, with my $150 savings, I was on Chicago streets. The first night I slept in the park. The next day I started looking for work. Coffee shop, pizza delivery, any job. At night I made art. I sold my first works on the street. $5, $10. People mostly passed by. One day an elderly woman stopped. "This is beautiful," she said, looking at my painting. "Thank you. $20. Let me give you 50. You're talented, young woman." That $50 was my first real art income. 6 months later, I decided. I couldn't stay in Chicago. I needed to go to New York for art. I went to New York by Greyhound bus. I had one suitcase with clothes and painting supplies. New York was cold and merciless. I rented a small studio in Brooklyn. 6 of us shared it, waiting tables during the day, art at night. This was my routine. I started making murals in Brooklyn. It wasn't legal, but nobody cared. I became a street artist. My first attention-getting work was a mural in Williamsburg, titled "Dreams Never Die." A giant mural, colorful and powerful. One day a gallery owner took a photo. "Who did this?" "I did," I said hesitantly. "What's your name?" "Olivia Martinez." "Martinez. Interesting. Do you have other works?" "Marcus Webb ran a small gallery in SoHo. Come, show me your work," he said. He came to my studio. There were 20 paintings, all unsold. He examined them silently. For half an hour he didn't speak. Finally he turned. "You're a genius." "But do you know that?" "I just paint. No, you tell stories. Every brush stroke is a feeling. This will sell." 2 weeks later, my first exhibition opened. At Marcus's gallery, a small show, only 8 paintings. Opening night came. Maybe 20 people were there. But one painting sold. $500. For the first time, I had earned money from my art. Real money. For 2 years, I worked with Marcus. Each exhibition was more successful than the previous one. In the 3rd year, the New York Times wrote about me. Rising star, Olivia Martinez's street art moves to gallery. In the 4th year, I made my first $10,000 painting sale. In the 5th year, $50,000. In the 6th year, a collector bought my entire exhibition, $200,000. In the 7th year, I opened my own gallery, Martinez Art Gallery, in the heart of SoHo. In the 8th year, I was featured in Forbes, on the 30 Under 30 artists list. In the 9th year, one of my works sold at a Christie's auction, $250,000. For 10 years, I hadn't spoken to my family. They didn't call, I didn't call, until that day. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Olivia, it's Nathan, my brother. I was hearing his voice for the first time in 10 years. Nathan. Yes, I called you because Dad is sick. My heart stopped. What happened? He had a heart attack. He's in the hospital. He's okay, but he wants to talk to you. Why now? I don't know. But please come. I returned to Chicago for the first time in 10 years. The hospital was Northwestern Memorial. Ironic. The hospital next to the university I refused to attend. I entered my father's room. He had aged. His hair had turned white, his face pale. When he saw me, his eyes filled with tears. Olivia. Dad. Silence. 10 years of silence. Please sit, he said. I sat. I made a mistake, he finally said. I stole your dream. Dad, no, listen. I've thought about this for 10 years. Every day. You were right. I was wrong. My tears flowed. I saw you in the newspaper. In Forbes. In the Times. You became successful. And I didn't support you. Dad, it's in the past. No, it's not. As a father, I should have supported you. But I was afraid. I thought art was risky. It was risky, but it was worth it. Can I see your exhibition? 2 weeks later, my father left the hospital. He came to New York. For the first time in his life, I took him to my gallery, Martinez Art Gallery. He stopped at the door. Your name, he said. The gallery bears your name. Yes, the Martinez family's artist. We went inside. The walls were covered with my paintings, large, colorful, powerful works. My father looked at each one for a long time. He said nothing, just looked. Finally, he stopped in front of a painting. Dreams Never Die, the gallery version of my first mural. What does this mean? He asked. 10 years ago, you tried to kill my dream. But dreams don't die. They just come to life in different ways. My father started crying. A 40-year lawyer was crying in the middle of the gallery. Will you forgive me? I already forgave you, Dad. A long time ago. 10 years later, the big moment came. Sotheby's auction. One of my most important works was going up for sale. The artist's father. The story of an artist who gained her father's support. I had painted my father in his hospital bed. Powerful, emotional, honest. On auction night, my family was there. My father, mother, Nathan. Everyone. Lot number 67. The Artist's Father by Olivia Martinez. Bidding started. $100,000. $200,000. $500,000! My father sat next to me, his hand in mine. $1 million. I held my breath. $2 million. $2,500,000. $3 million. The gavel struck. Sold. For $3 million. The entire hall stood up and applauded. My father hugged me. You were right, daughter. You were always right. I'm 38 years old now. I have 3 galleries. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. The Chicago gallery was special. I had dedicated it to my father. Robert Martinez Art Center. But why my name? He had asked. Because you taught me the most important lesson. Never give up. My father is now retired. Every day he comes to my Chicago gallery, chats with visitors. My daughter did this, he says proudly. The artist. My mother also volunteers. She gives art classes to young people. Nathan became a doctor in medicine, but does photography in his spare time. You inspired me, he says. That day my father had said, I don't like this unemployment. Find a real job. 10 years later, my unemployment artwork sold for $3 million at Sotheby's. But the real victory wasn't the money. The real victory was my father standing in my gallery saying, "I was wrong, you were right." Is art a job? Yes, but not just a job. Art is a way of life, a voice, a method of storytelling. I'm Olivia Martinez. I slept on Chicago's streets and woke up in New York's galleries. And today, I give scholarships to young artists. Martinez Art Scholarship for talented artists not supported by their families. Because I know, sometimes the greatest work of art is life itself. I share this story because I know there are many artists around the world not supported by their families. I tell them this: don't give up on your dream. It will be hard, it will hurt, it will tire you, but it will be worth it. I spent 10 years on the streets, hungry, cold. But I didn't give up on my dream, and today, that dream brought me here. My father was right about one thing. Art is risky, but I learned this. Those who don't take risks gain nothing. If art isn't a job, then I'm a happy unemployed person, and this unemployment made me a millionaire.